So I'm Rachel and I had a breast reduction. I've always been slightly uncomfortable with how big my breasts were when I was younger, and then when I was 19, I really spoke to my parents about it. I don't think they ever realised how uncomfortable it made me and the kind of mental toll it took on me, just having to wear like clothes that were like 3-4 sizes too big to be able to fit. Normally I'm a size 8, I was wearing size 14 tops. It wasn't a straightaway thing I could do, I had to wait for it, and as I was waiting, so I ended up booking it for June, so just after uni finished. And from like December till June, every single photo I was noticing more and more how much I wanted it done, so I was getting, like for 6 months I was just getting more and more excited every single day. And it happened, and I remember going in, my mum came with me, and I've never been more relaxed going somewhere. I think, honestly, I'd heard so much, I'd done so much research before I'd even seen Jonathan, then I had done research after, obviously he had told me everything that would happen, so because I knew everything that could happen, I was just more excited for the end result. I was like lying down, but I'd always look down and always see these massive boobs on me, and then all of a sudden they just weren't there, and I'm not a crier, so I didn't cry, but if I was a crier I would have cried. It was like that kind of exciting, oh my god, this actually happened, like, because I've been Googling this and thinking about it since I was like 13, so it's been a really long time that I've wanted this for, but I finally actually got the courage to talk to my parents about it last year. So yeah, I had it done. Everything was going fine, woke up the next day, all good, went home. Then I came here, had my dressings taken off just over a week after with Vicki, then went down to Brighton for the week where I started to experience a couple problems. So I ended up having a hematoma, which meant I was bleeding for 8 weeks after my surgery. So I was quite poorly, and it was getting slowly worse and worse, and we thought I would have to go back to theatre to have it cleared out and removed. But then luckily, I don't know how many dressings later, but yeah, about 8 weeks of constant bleeding, it just completely stopped. We had done like vacuum dressings and everything, and everything stopped, and it healed up within about 4 days. Like genuinely amazing, because it's been 6 months since my surgery, but I've been in pretty much constant contact with Vicki. If I email her, she will reply straight away. For those 8 weeks after, me and my mum were saying how, like the entire time, if it hadn't have been this good, I would have broken down. Like, I would have been a mess. Because it was horrible, like it was not a nice thing to go through, but I never felt like I was doing it blind. I always knew like there's different options to go through. So Jonathan said, if you want to go back to surgery because it will clear it quicker, we can do that. If you don't, we'll carry on with the dressings until it clears itself. So there's always options. No one realised how big I actually was, but then they found out I was wearing a sports bra every single day. And then when I actually had them done and I was just wearing like no bra and a top, my best friend's mum was like shocked, because before she was just like, oh, you weren't big that before, were you? And I was like, well, I was. And then she saw it and she was just like, you look, like it was so different. Or it was like I was wearing a top that I had worn before the reduction happened, and I came out and my friend was just like, it like just clothes look so different on you, it changes like your entire frame. I mean, people have asked me if I would do it again, because my dad, like I said, he was always a little bit sceptical. He didn't want his daughter not liking herself that much that she had to go through surgery. It was just not a nice thing for him to think. But I've said to him, if you told me that I would go through all of this, if you had said this at the start, I'd do it again tomorrow. If there is something else you can do, then obviously maybe try it, just because it is a big thing. I unfortunately experienced the rougher side of what can happen afterwards, but like I said, I would do it again tomorrow, because it does make a massive impact on your life, I think more than people think.